Looking to buy an investment property here in Coastal Delaware and you're just unsure of the market and unsure of what to look at and what to do, whether it's your first or your 100th rental property, we hope that you take some value away from today's video. So let's dive into it and let's get you some more information on the market, the neighborhoods, and all that fun stuff. Before we dive into that content, my name is Matt Lunden. I'm a local real estate agent here in Coastal Delaware, and I put out content each and every week discussing all things Coastal Delaware, what it's like to live here, real estate here, and all that fun stuff. If that's something that you would like to see some more of, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. And then if you're someone that's looking to buy or sell real estate here in Coastal Delaware, me and my team love hearing from you guys here on the channel. So don't hesitate to reach out. All my contact information will be just down below in the description and right here on the screen. Now let's get back to it. Perhaps the hottest item right now, and it's no secret if you're not living under a rock, the hottest item in the real estate market right now is going to be interest rates. It's not a topic that we can get around. You know the interest rates are high. I know the interest rates are high. Your grandma knows the interest rates are high. Everybody knows it. It's no secret. And when you look at the investment world, if you're unaware, investment loans come with a higher interest rate because the bank views them as riskier loans than a primary residence. So right now, if you were to go get a standard 20% down investment loan, you're going to be paying about 8.5% interest, which is not a small amount, and it certainly can eat into profits. So the interest rate is certainly a big concern, primarily for everybody, but even more so for investors who are trying to make a living or grow their wealth through investing. It just eats into profits and makes it a little bit more of a tricky scenario. As we look at the next piece of that profit puzzle, I should say, is the home prices. Home prices here in Coastal Delaware, like everywhere else in the country, have exploded over the last 2 or 3 years, and they're now more expensive than they ever been. So it has become increasingly difficult to generate a profit in any of these investment properties because purchase prices, when they're high, and interest rates, when they're high, they make it very expensive to own a home. So a lot of people that bought homes 2020, 2021, or even prior to that, they likely have a very low interest rate and it's not that expensive for them to run that home. So all of a sudden, it doesn't make sense for them to go out and buy another one because the profits just aren't there. Now, the next question, and probably the one that everyone should be asking, is it still possible to cash flow here in Coastal Delaware? And my answer to that is, it depends. Yes, it is possible, but it depends on your investment strategy, depends on the way you're buying, and the money is made in the buy, not necessarily the sell. So it just depends on your strategy. If you're looking for a short-term rental, you do an Airbnb style vacation rental type thing where you're getting in, weekly rentals, maybe shorter term, depending on what you're looking for. Those are a lot easier to cash flow than a long-term year-round rental. You've been in the investment world for a little while. You're no stranger to that. You know that's a fact. The difficult part becomes that short-term rentals do typically require a little bit more labor, but you can always get a property management company to do that. It's just going to cost you a percentage of your revenue. The long-term rental side of things, if you're looking to do something on a year-round basis, like a 12-month lease, if you're only putting 20% down right now, it's going to be very difficult to cash flow a long-term rental. And the reason there being that the purchase prices and the interest rates, when you combine those two right now, they have far outpaced the rental market here. So it becomes very, very difficult to turn a cash flow profit in a long-term sense. Again, the short-term world, you certainly can, but that comes with a little bit more labor intensive. If you're getting a property management company, it's all fine and dandy. It'll just cost you more versus managing it yourself. As far as property types go and what the best strategy in Coastal Delaware is, both from a long-term and a short-term rental aspect, it really just depends on what your buy box is and what you're looking to do. I know people that cash flow in condos and I know people that cash flow in detached homes, both very different investment strategies, but both work. So depending on what your strategy is, you can certainly find townhomes, condos, and detached homes all throughout the area. The big thing that I like to point out to people that say, I would never buy in a condo, or the flip side of that, I would never buy a detached home, is condos appear more expensive on paper and typically come with more regulations. So it's a lot harder to get those short-term rentals and stuff passed through a condo building versus in a detached home. However, in a detached home, you'll have more hidden fees with lawn maintenance if they're not covered by your HOA, and just more exterior maintenance. If siding blows off, that's on you. Whereas in a condo, that's typically covered by the association. So just depending on your style and what you're looking for could determine which property type you buy. It's just important to really paint that picture of what you're looking for before you go out and look at things. That way you know that you're investing in the right thing and it's a market that you have studied up on versus buying into something that you just have no clue about. The final big piece to the puzzle here, neighborhoods. Are you buying in an HOA community or a condo association community, or are you buying not in an HOA or condo association community? The big difference there, the HOA communities are going to have more restrictions, and we're seeing fewer and fewer communities allow short-term rentals each and every single year. So if you're someone that's buying a place, whether whether that's a condo, townhome, or detached home, if you're buying that explicitly for short-term vacation rentals, and all of a sudden your association tells you that you can no longer do short-term vacation rentals, you've got a bad investment now. So just make sure you know going in if there's been any discussions by the HOA about changing the rules, if there's been any votes that maybe haven't passed yet, they've been declined a couple times, just know that going in. Me and my team have identified a group of neighborhoods that we really like and that we have a bunch of clients that have purchased into because we know they fit a lot of criteria. They cash flow, the community is very rental friendly, and even if you were to go to a long-term rental, you could likely still cash flow it, although it'll be a lot tighter than if you were to doing in a short-term rental. But knowing the neighborhoods that allow and don't allow short-term rentals can save you a massive headache in the end. So just make sure you know that and you're cognizant of that going in, that the community that you're buying in hasn't tried to ban them or hasn't added a whole bunch of regulations, which has been the most popular form that we've seen, where they can't get enough votes to make it so they're outlawed, but they make you provide a whole bunch of paperwork for every single tenant that you have. So it makes it so uncomfortable to do and such a hassle to do that you just don't want to do it anymore. So there are a number of communities that have done that, and we just want to make sure that we're staying away from those. Now, if we're looking in town limits of either Rehoboth, Lewes, Bethany, one of those, that's going to come with a whole different set of regulations and a whole different set of accommodations tax and everything else. So just make sure you know the full picture before you go in. If you're not selecting us as your agents, make sure you're asking these questions of your agent so that you know you're buying a good investment property and it's not going to end up just hemorrhaging cash every year that you own it, and you don't end up having to sell it because you've just taken a loss on it and it actually does make a profit, which it's designed to do, and that's the reason why you would buy an investment property. Ultimately, we hope you found some value in today's video. If you're considering investing here in Coastal Delaware and you're looking for someone to bounce some ideas off of and ask some questions of, so we have a pretty good handle on the way things work. So if you have absolutely any questions, again, my contact information will be down below in the description and here on the screen. And then if you're someone that is just looking to learn a little bit more about Coastal Delaware, lifestyles here, what it's like to live here, the real estate market, and all that fun stuff, again, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button down below just so you stay in the loop each week when we go live with new content. I hope to see you guys next time. Peace.